WWE has a monumental Jason Uso issue on their hands. We'll talk all about it in today's Amped Up Wednesday, March the 19th of the year 2025. This will be a late upload to a lot of you guys. A late Amped Up. I'm just glad this is able to get to you guys. There was a time today where I didn't think we were going to be able to record, and I really wanted to go over these stories because it's not just the Jason Uso debacle from Monday night. And if you don't know what we're talking about, we're going to talk about it. This is disastrous for WWE and the whole Jason Uso Yeet movement for WrestleMania. But it's not just that, it's also Alexa Bliss. A huge developing story with Alexa Bliss. A lot of foggy details, if any, coming out of WWE. So we'll talk the weird Alexa Bliss story and developments as well. And also, I caught NXT last night. I really want to give you guys my thoughts on NXT before that is kind of passé. So that was last night's show. A show that the women, once again, I feel crushed it. And when it got to the dudes, the brand just seems lost. We'll talk all about that. We'll talk Lilian Garcia saying goodbye once again. For the most part, we'll talk about it. And a former WWE Superstar saying they're not just coming back soon, they've already signed a contract. And if we have time, we'll go over the Raw numbers, too. This is from a week ago. They're always on a week delay now that they're on Netflix. So this would be for the week of the 10th, I believe. But not a good sign, as it is WrestleMania season, and they once again went backwards. All of these stories coming up in today's Amped Up. And we are not going to go to any opening signature. We're just going to get right into these stories because, again, this is most likely getting out to you guys pretty late in the evening, this Wednesday edition of Amped Up with BC. So we're going to jump right into it. If you don't mind, swig of coffee, thank you. And this is a Folgers double shot, by the way. The best part of waking up, but it's also one of the best parts of the evening as well. Folgers, it's in your motherfucking cup. We're going to get into the Jey Uso story. This is absolutely wild because I was live with you guys on Monday night, man. We were doing a live reaction, live watch-along review, and I told you guys how bad it was, that segment. I was not happy at all. That's up on the channel right now. If you're a channel member, you can still check out that live reaction because I couldn't believe that's what they came up with. And I don't want to hear John Cena's segment took too long. Yeah, it went 2 segments, 30 minutes, him and Cody Rhodes. So other things were going to get chopped. That's fine. You don't do what you did out there. And then the botches on top of it. So it's the booking, it's the time cut, it's the botches. It was a recipe for disaster. Every ingredient that went into that cake mix was just bad. Let's talk about it because I wasn't happy with it live. I can't believe here we are 2 days later and the backlash that World Wrestling Entertainment is getting. Wait till you hear this. Salute, unit. Let's do this amplified style. One more. Yeah. Let's get amplified. So check this out. So if you don't know what we're talking about, first and foremost, Monday night, there was this matchup with Austin Theory and Jason Uso, Jey Uso. Okay, so the John Cena thing went extra long. I'm sure many matches had to get a minute or two cut, whatever. There's word out that it was supposed to go 10 to 12 minutes, but they just took the whole 10 to 11 off of them because Hunter thought, let's just make Jey Uso a super beast. It'll be a massive squash match that'll get Jey Uso even more over. If that's the case, if that report is true, either way, that didn't work. And if the original plan was just a couple minutes, so they only cut 1 minute because of the John Cena and ended up being 1 minute, no matter what, it's all a botch. And then, unfortunately, Jey Uso himself committed a couple of big botches within 1 minute. That did not help anything out. But if you don't know what we're talking about, that's the setup here. There was a match with Austin Theory, Jey Uso. One-on-one, the match only went 60 seconds. It went 1 minute. Within that minute, it was sloppy, it was ugly, it was straight out as bad as it gets. It could possibly get worse. Maybe if you put Bastion Booger and the Great Khali in there for 60 seconds, maybe that could be worse, but for all intent and purposes, the deal here is that it was bad. And everything that BC tried to tell you when Jey Uso won the Rumble, it was just kind of magnified, spotlighted, exposed right there in the ring in that 60 seconds. And you guys saw a dude that's just as his own father described just several days ago, a dude that is exhausted. Jey Uso is exhausted. That's what Rikishi, Papa Uso, that's what he said the last time he saw his son. He said he just looked drained. He looked exhausted. And that's what you saw in that match. If that was supposed to go 10 to 12 minutes, he should be thanking John Cena today. Because he couldn't go 1 minute. He looked winded. He looked exhausted. He couldn't even do the spear correctly, which I don't even know why he's doing the super spear. All of a sudden, Jey Uso is Roman Reigns, Bill Goldberg, Edge, Rhino. All of a sudden, Jey Uso can knock you out with a spear. Average size Jey Uso doesn't really hit the gym that much. His spear is right up there with all the big heavyweights all of a sudden. But he couldn't even hit that right. Michael Cole thought it was a crossbody. That was one of the biggest botches. The end of the match, Michael Cole thought it was a crossbody because Jey Uso extended himself from east to west like it was a crossbody. If you see it in slow motion, though, his shoulder is into the middle section of Austin Theory, so it was half spear, half crossbody. So the call was wrong. The crowd in attendance is caught off guard. What was that? And then all of a sudden, the ref hits 3. Theory's looking up at the lights for 30 seconds. Everybody was like, huh? If it seemed odd, it was that bad. And I forget if it was in the middle of the match or, because it was only 60 seconds, or right after, possibly after, because then he took out Grayson Waller as well. Again, the super Jey Uso continued as if he's Superman. He's taken out a whole tag team by himself. When he was with Jimmy, he was never even that dominant. So it's not realistic. But he goes to jump over the top rope for a dive. Guys, it seemed like he never left his feet never left the canvas. Or he was carrying anchors in his attire because he got no height, he had no momentum, his legs never left. And all he did was kind of tumble over the top rope and land back first onto the apron. Waller and Austin Theory had to sell it the best they could. They kind of fell, acting like Jey Uso grazed them, but he didn't. It was one of the worst dive botches I've seen since Top Dollar, actually. And I wouldn't have even made that comparison if Top Dollar didn't get so angry. Other people had made that comparison. Top Dollar got so flipped out, pissed off, furious, frustrated, and he actually sent out a message to fans calling them losers and saying that people make mistakes, they're human, just look at your parents. They did when you were basically born. That's what Top Dollar was. Top Dollar just shredded fans. He was so pissed off that people were associating Jey Uso's flop with Top Dollar's flop. But it was as bad as that. Because this is a dude that's supposed to be going to Mania and winning a title. This is a dude that's already trying to... There's already a line between fans in the wrestling world on if this match should even be happening at WrestleMania. Should Jey Uso have even won the Rumble? There's already too many fans, and BC's one of them. And that's my favorite tag team, by the way. If you're new to the channel, Jimmy and Jey Uso, my favorite. So it pains me to say this. I take no joy in saying this. But singles Jey Uso? Hell no, he shouldn't be winning a Rumble. Because he hawks some extra merchandise and he has a cute catchphrase now. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. He should be going to WrestleMania and hoisting up a championship and defeating somebody like Gunther. Gunther's whole title reign ended to Jason Uso. Of course not. Just so 70,000 people can yeet for 5 to 10 minutes. And Hunter can have his yes movement and Kofi Mania moment. This will be his moment. The yeet moment. Of course not. We all know that. If you're being honest. You know I'm going to give you the utmost amplified honesty. That's my favorite tag team. I take no joy in saying that. But singles Jey Uso ain't it. And WWE is now realizing singles Jey Uso ain't it. That's factual. Forget the fact that he's already exhausted. We still have several weeks to go. He's going to have to do a lot more radio shows, a lot more television, a lot more responsibilities. And we're weeks away, and this dude's dragging ass. His pops, Rikishi, said he looks exhausted. It's taking its toll on him, this main event thing, being the guy, or one of the guys. And in the ring, the dude couldn't go a minute. Dome piece isn't there. He's all over the place. Botch galore. He looks just off. And people were already saying, man, singly especially, he's 3 moves of doom. At least Cena had 5. Jey Uso is the super kick, the splash, and now all of a sudden a spear. That's it. Oh yeah, and occasionally he'll dive over the top rope, which maybe that should stop for now. That's the truth. No way. Just because you hawk some extra merchandise now and your t-shirt sales are up there now because they did not continuously or consistently pass Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. They didn't. There was several days where he took the number 1 spot, I am hearing. But every time the weekly list came out, it was Cody still. LA Knight was beating him on several days. So it wasn't that much merch like you're hearing. And on top of that, we all know why this is happening. The Rumble victory, the WrestleMania, it's because of the yeet. And when we try to raise those concerns that we're not feeling any attachment to this, we don't feel any emotion, that this is not the biggest WrestleMania moment you could possibly have. Jey Uso defeating Gunther for the title. That's not big. In 2025 at WrestleMania 41, Jason Uso defeating Gunther. That's what you're giving us? When you had CM Punk right there ready to rock. John Cena, really. John Cena, Gunther, don't overcomplicate this. He wins his 17th championship. Ric Flair's there. Charlie even. Everybody, it's a big celebration. That's a Mania moment. But you chose not to do that. Cena then says, all right, if I'm taking on Cody, then I want to turn heel because face versus face is stupid. To which Hunter's like, no, I do it all the time. And Cena was like, yeah, and it's fucking dumb. So Cena overrode Triple H's stupid booking, and thankfully at least Cena turned heel for his Cody match. But okay, you could have still put in CM Punk. No reason under the sun with CM Punk in World Wrestling Entertainment on the same brand as Gunther should Punk not have won either the Rumble or the Chamber. But no, we went Jason Uso, and we find ourselves in this shitstorm. It is a mess, and you know it. This is not big. When you have to call yourself main event, you're probably not main event. He's great as a tag team. That's it. I love the Rockers. I loved Marty Jannetty. You don't put Marty Jannetty in a Rumble victory and a World Championship victory at Mania. You wouldn't do it. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. You wouldn't do it. Stevie Ray, partner of Booker T in the Harlem Heat. You wouldn't do it. And you wouldn't do it with Jason Uso or, at this point, Jimmy Uso, because they can yeet. I tried to tell you guys this from day one. This is coming from a huge supporter of the Usos, my favorite tag team. And I told you, that's a botch by Hunter Helmsley. This is the same guy that made LA Knight wait just to get a U.S. championship because he thought he could be a flash in the pan. You guys remember that shit? I ain't making it up. Do you remember that shit? He made him wait a whole year because it could be a flash in the pan. We don't know if we want to give him even a piece of the rocket. It could just be, yeah. And all the merchandise. Remember, he became number 1 in merchandise sales 8 different times. And one of those times was consistent. It was a 2.5-week run. And HHH continued to say, we don't know yet. Even left him off pay-per-views when he was one of the hottest superstars in the company and all of pro wrestling. Finally, he gets his U.S. championship. Never really got a big main event. Never really going for championship, world gold, or in anything that was long-term storyline based. Nothing. LA Knight to this day hasn't. He's flipping back and forth, hot potatoing a title with Shinsuke Nakamura. But with Jason Uso, he didn't even wait to see if it's a flash in the pan. 2 weeks of straight yeeting, and he called everybody in on the day of the Royal Rumble. John Cena, CM Punk, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso. He looked at them all and he said, guys, we're decided to go with Jason Uso. That was it. They all found out the day of the Rumble. And Hunter tried to do a power move. I'm gonna go. I don't know why I'm giving them the Vince voice. I'm gonna go Jey Uso. What? The fuck you talk at that? But just go LA Knight then, because it's clear he's still hot with the crowd. Maybe give him finally a chance. Just put LA Knight up. I'd rather see LA Knight Gunther. Most of us would. But CM Punk, if you're not gonna go John Cena, it's CM Punk. That's clear. But no, this is what Hunter does. He just muddies the waters. So he goes with Jey Uso, thinking that this Yeet thing is gonna last 2 to 3 months. And that most of us are going to be invested in a Jey Uso-Gunther feud, culminating in a Gunther-Jey Uso rematch of a rematch of a rematch of a rematch. And that's what you're getting at Mania. You just saw it a week before the Rumble at Saturday night's main event. Gunther wins, Jey Uso's looking up at the lights. Ever since, Jey Uso's been Superman. And there's no storyline. Gunther said, if you choose my championship, you're going to get 10 weeks of hell. Every single week, Gunther's either getting beat up or he's getting chased off. Even when he attacks Jey Uso from behind, like this week's Monday Night Raw, he still got his ass whooped and ran away. And Jey Uso yeeted. 10 weeks of hell, Gunther said. And Jey Uso is having the time of... I mean, if that's hell, they're probably serving ice water. There's no story. There's nothing. Every week they're just Jay and Gunther are doing something stupid. They're just pull them apart, brawl maybe, and you still got 3, 4. What is it? At least 4 more weeks of this shit. At least. There's no story. And then when we get to Mania, the fans are supposed to care about this because we're all gonna yeet when it's over, guys. We're gonna yeet. No, that you're going to have to do better than that. Jey Uso was never it. That's the sad part. Jey Uso, whether you like it or not, when people say 3 moves of doom, if you say no, that's not true. As a singles competitor, maybe I'll give you 5. Maybe. But it's true. Singly, he just doesn't captivate a lot of us. Maybe even most of us. On the microphone. On the mic, Jey Uso doesn't have that it factor. He doesn't have that charisma. There's not that personality. When he bounces off with his brother, they actually do pretty damn well together. Their promos are actually pretty damn good, but he doesn't have his brother. So Jey just goes into that kind of shy mode. He tries to give you a little something, but that's what I mean about it factor. You know when it's within somebody, and you know when they're trying to get it gustered up, they're trying to manufacture it, and Jey Uso tries to manufacture it. It's a good attempt. It's the old college attaboy. It just doesn't work. On the microphone, he doesn't carry anything. The charisma, the personality, the mic work, the lack of good wrestling matches as a singles wrestler. All of these things add up. And if you want the whole fan base to go, yeah, but it's okay because we have the Yeet and he pushes merchandise. No, he doesn't push as much as you're thinking. And the Yeet will get old. It already is. Even already, it's nothing what it was a month ago. I told you that was going to happen. And the biggest supporters of this is just, it's the same old shtick. Oh, he deserves it. Everybody calm down. He deserves it. What does that even mean in pro wrestling? He's been there a long time. He's wrestled a long time. He's put in the work. He puts his body on the line and he finally got an opportunity. Let's just be happy for him. What are we talking about, bro? Is this just the participation trophy era? Are we also supposed to sit back and just go, oh, it doesn't matter if this shit sucks. It doesn't matter if these are all the wrong calls. It doesn't matter if we could be getting better. The wrestlers deserve it, man. They deserve it. So it doesn't matter. If next year Hunter Hearst Helmsley puts Tozawa in the main event of or wins the Rumble, and then Tozawa main events WrestleMania and Tozawa wins a title, we're not even going to give a fuck anymore, right? We're just going to say he deserves it. Actually, BC, that'll be kind of fun, man. If you think about it, Tozawa's been the whipping boy for years. Could you imagine Tozawa is at Mania and he wins? That would be awesome, BC. That's what we say today, guys. I'm not even making a joke. There are many fans that are okay with that. They just want to giggle. They just want to see something absolutely ludicrous happen. They don't care if it destroys the wrestling business in totality. They don't care if it's absurd. They just want to see R-Truth win the Rumble and Tozawa win the WrestleMania main event. So did we even take you to Monday night? That's just BC's rant on how we even got to this point. And if WWE just listened to common sense, to the voice of reason, they could have avoided all of this. But instead, Monday night, it was bound to happen. It was a combustible element, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley was botching everywhere, every time he turned. It was a new Hunter Helmsley botch, booking-wise. And it culminated in what you saw Monday with 60 seconds, Jason Uso squashing Austin Theory, botches galore within the match and post-match. And then after he single-handedly took care of Waller and Theory, he then took care of Gunther, who attacked him from behind. Gunther is looking like an awful little sissy bitch throughout this whole feud. And this guy is supposed to lose the title at Mania. Good luck trying to rebound Gunther after all of this. At this point, I'll say it. I know it's a hot take, and I hope it's sizzling hot. White lightning hot. Gunther has to win Mania. I said it. He has to. There's no way Gunther can lose to Jason Uso. There's just not a way. I was going to say this version of any version of Jey Uso. There's no way. This is a dude that beat Randy Orton. Stop. Randy Orton. But Jey Uso is going to be the guy to take it. Stop it. Honestly, this is getting so weird. It's getting so ludicrous, and there's no common sense behind it. We're just supposed to all fall in line and go, but he deserves it. He's super over. That's another one we use, right? He's super over. No, he's not. He has a catchphrase. There's a difference. Hunter tried to sell you that for a whole year. No, I'm not going to book LA Knight correctly because it's a flash in the pan. LA Knight wasn't, though. The world of wrestling could have told you Jey Uso's catchphrase was. Do you think people are going to be eating a year from now? It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not as big as Stone Cold's, or even hell yeah. But his what? That's stuck around to this day. I don't know if will be that popular in 10 years. 5 years, I do think it will. We all knew LA Knight was not a flash in the pan. We all knew Jason Uso should not be winning the Rumble. I can repeat myself like a broken record at this point. You either know what I am stating is nothing but factual fact bomb after fact bomb after fact bomb. And if you're not gathering what I'm saying, then it's not going to reach you anyway. It's not going to resonate. You're okay with it because he deserves it and he's super over and that's it. Well then, congratulations, because you'll continue to get booking like that, so you'll be happy. But this is what happened Monday. 60 seconds, and Jason Uso takes care of Austin Theory in a squash with a horrible botch spear, then takes care of Waller as well, botches an over-the-top dive. Gunther attacks him from behind. He thwarts that off. Am I using that right? He fends that off. I'll use a better word that I know I used correctly. He fends him off, and then he takes out Gunther, Waller, and he chases him away. Just throws him his title and yeets while Gunther is like, fuck, that didn't work the way I had it planned. Guys, WWE put this up on their site. WWE put this up on their little WWE YouTube channel, I guess, the match. It's only 60 seconds. And then the post-match activity as well, I believe. And no lie, it got absolutely trashed. It got ravaged. The the comment section of that, everybody talking about how unrealistic and how bad the booking of Jey Uso has gotten. Everybody talking about how is that even if they're not Austin Theory fans, how's that realistic on a botched spear that even Michael Cole thought was a crossbody? Austin Theory loses by the crossbody. People making jokes. Jey Uso's new finisher, the crossbody. And then what happened afterwards, and Waller and Theory had to sell for that type of a botch after the match. And then Gunther has to sell the fact that Jey Uso not only fended off his attack from behind, but also that Gunther wants no part of Jey Uso yet again for another consecutive week. Everybody looks stupid here working with Jey Uso, and now even Jey Uso is looking dumb, is looking bad, is looking awful. The comment section of WWE, this is the WWE universe, guys. That is absolutely giving Hunter Hearst Helmsley and WWE the biggest backlash we've seen in a long time. I haven't seen this since like deep in the end years of Vince McMahon. This type of backlash. Fans have had enough. The comment section has went off on that WWE video. Uso and Austin Theory and the ratio, the like-dislike ratio was out of control. They're nearing, last I checked, 15,000 on the ups, but guys, they're nearing 75,000 downs. 75,000 dislikes to 15,000 on the ups. That's unheard of. That is absolutely unheard of. The whole world of professional wrestling just told Hunter Helmsley, nah, brah, Jey Uso ain't it. It's not even a pat on the back moment. It's not a moment where I can go, told you so, we were right, amp unit. No, I don't want to be right I don't want to say these. I don't want to be even talking about these subjects. This is WrestleMania. You can't botch it. Cena, Gunther, Cody, Punk. And hey, Hunter wins too. He gets a face versus a face. Punk and Cody. But no. He chose to go Jason Uso, so then Cena had to win the chamber, and the only title left was Cody. It was going to be face-to-face. Cena said, no, I'm going heel. So, okay, we got that. And then CM Punk is going to be in this weird trip. They have nothing for Punk. They have nothing for Roman. And Rollins, they never have anything. He's always the third wheel. So what they're doing, guys, is they're going to put all three in one match for no reason. There's nothing on the line. Punk versus Rollins versus Roman. And then there's no feud between the three other than Punk and Rollins. Rollins and Roman, they've ended their shit. It's been done for years. So they had to remanufacture that at the Rumble, right? Rollins just all of a sudden stomps Roman out of nowhere. And then recently they had to manufacture a Roman CM Punk feud by Roman spearing CM Punk. So now all of a sudden, because of those out of nowhere manufacturers, now all of a sudden we're going to get a triple threat. There's only one way that these three conglomerates can settle their differences. What are you talking about, bro? The differences aren't that big. Rollins and Punk, maybe you can do another match there. But we're going to get a triple threat. Nothing on the line. There's no titles. As of now, there's not even like a number one contendership. Nothing. You're getting a babyface versus a babyface versus a babyface because Hunter Hearst Helmsley doesn't know how to book correctly, and he has nothing for three of the top babyfaces. And he was already going babyface, Cena, Cody. And then he took Gunther's title and he said, I think I'm going to give you Jason Uso. All of this is ass backwards. And this is why I say Hunter Hearst Helmsley is so bad at creative. He is so bad at what he does that absolutely at the soonest available time, he would have to be removed from his position. You could keep him collecting paychecks in WWE, an on-air personality. He loves the spotlight. He loves when the camera is on. So keep him as an on-air. Keep him with an office in Stamford, Connecticut. Maybe he's good at some office jobs. but he's not good creatively. He's not good at booking promo segments. He's not good at booking professional wrestling stories. This is not NXT from many years ago when he had Dusty and William Regal and all them masterminds, and he only had to book for 1 hour a week, and every now and again a takeover, so he only had to have 5 matches. This is different. This is big boy shit. And Helmsley is way over his dome piece. And Jey Uso is just one of many botches by Hunter Hearst Helmsley. 75,000 to 15. Absolutely a thrashing to World Wrestling Entertainment. This match has been panned more than in recent memory than any other match. And again, what everybody is talking about in that video, in that comment section, if you go through it, everybody is finally on the same page. Hey, you can love Jey Uso, but this ain't it, man. And we have several more weeks of this to get our asses to Mania, where we're supposed to believe that this dude that can no longer even do the dive, he looks exhausted, this dude's going to be Gunther. This dude's Superman. He's taking everybody out with speed. He took out Gunther, Waller, and Theory in 2 minutes on Monday night. It's not realistic when we're seeing the guy not even be able to jump over the top rope. It's not backing it up, man. Hunter wanted this dude to be this huge thing so he could look good. Look, I made the right decision. We're all going to yeet at WrestleMania, and everyone's going to go, Hunter, you're a genius. I told you, we ain't even going to get to Mania before this whole shit's exposed. And the magnifying glasses are out, and we're going, uh-oh, this ain't good, bro. Jey Uso, the wheels are already falling off this whole yeet movement. I told you that was going to happen, dog. I don't fucking bullshit on this channel. I don't have time to do such. I don't sugarcoat. I don't bullshit. You're going to get the reality every single time we're discussing a pro wrestling story because we truly want pro wrestling to be great again. You can't do that if we're not honest about it. Jason Uso ain't it. His own dad said he's exhausted. We just saw that on Monday. And you're going to book him like he's Superman? He's the guy beating Gunther? You got to cut your losses. This is where HHH has to look in the mirror and say, all right, I botched. I messed it up. That wasn't it. I botched the Rumble. If I stick with this match, Gunther's got to win now. There's nothing I can do. You can't blow your load on a 70,000 people yeeting, and then what? Jason Uso is carrying that world title. You see how bad this is going into Mania. What the fuck do you want from Jey Uso holding a title for the next 6 months to a year, however long he holds that title? What do you think's going to happen? You think that it's going to masterfully just Jey Uso's going to get even better? Or get good as a singles wrestler? Are you going to give a fuck because now Jey Uso has a shiny title over his shoulder, and the next night on Monday Night Raw, we're all going to yell, you deserved it. You deserved it. Right? That's all this is. This is all just so we can do all the chants. We can yeet when he wins it. On Monday, we're all going to go, you deserve it. And it's not going to progress the wrestling business at all. It's not going to put any more asses in WWE arenas because Jey Uso ain't going to push that shit. He's the dude, if you do show up and you see a little yeet shirt and there's nothing better, you'll buy the damn shirt. When he comes out, you'll go, yeet! And then you'll forget about him 5 minutes later because here comes Seth and you'll start doing the stupid Disney sing-along. Oh! And you'll forget about that stupid song 5 minutes later when, LA Knight comes out. And the next crowd that comes in the next night will repeat the fucking process. Jey Uso ain't it. Coming from a dude that supports Jimmy and Jay as their favorite tag team, that's exactly what I have done for years. I'll be the first to tell you. As a singles wrestler, Jey Uso had no business winning a Rumble, no business main eventing a Mania, and no business beating Gunther to become a world champion in 2025. Because he's been there a while, he busts his ass, and he deserves it. That's not how this works, or it shouldn't go that way. If that's the case, then Tito Santana would have defeated Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. The Big Boss Man would have beat Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8 and became champion. It's not how this works. And that is your top story. We're probably going to go over an hour, and I had a lot to say about that. If you thought this was getting out late to you guys, going even later now. I'll try to fly by these stories. I want to go over to NXT in a little bit too, guys, because I did actually checked out NXT, man, the whole show. And what I found out is that it's kind of what we already knew. The chicks are absolutely crushing the game in NXT. The dudes, not so much. So do I go over that now? Alexa Bliss first. I got to go with the top stories first, man, because this is getting out late to you guys. I know some of you guys may have to watch a little bit, then come back later. You may have to watch in 3 separate parts. So I want to make sure that your first sitting has the main stories. Alexa Bliss has been pulled from WWE World. That's a big problem because don't forget, Alexa Bliss was not on this week's WWE shows either. If you saw what BC is cooking, yeah, I'm saying like until we hear something from WWE or Alexa, which as of this recording we have not. But this doesn't sound good at all. Something because nobody's saying anything. I mean, Alexa's not saying anything on the sitch. WWE's. It's just weird that she came back. It looked like they were giving her some momentum. It looked like they were giving her some good, not stories, but some momentum, right? There was glitching and stuff, so it looked like they were going to put her back with the Wyatts, which they don't even know how to book the Wyatts correctly. So me being you guys know, if you're new to I'm a huge supporter of the Wyatts and became a huge supporter of Alexa when she joined up with Bray. I got to see just what Alexa really can offer, and it was a lot more than she did previous. So I became a huge Alexa supporter during that whole Bray Wyatt thing. But I'll be the first to tell you that until you can get the Wyatts booked correctly, which it looks like Hunter is lost completely, no more evident than when you last saw them, right? In the middle of a Raw, a blow-off on a feud that we thought was going to go a while. But he just had them lose, the whole Wyatt family, to the Final Testament. That was it. Baby powder to Uncle Howdy, and that was it, guys. The Wyatts were not seen again. I think Dexter Lumis 2 weeks later maybe had a singles match, but they were not seen again as a group. Final Testament was broken up. AOP, Paul Ellering, they all got fired, canned, released, whatever. They were gone. The Wyatts quietly moved over to SmackDown. We haven't even seen them yet. It's been months. Hunter's lost. And everyone's all giddy because, Alexa could join them. That might make it better, BC. Well, not if the booking isn't going to be better. Not if there's no creative behind it. It's just somebody else clogging up a really bad Wyatt story progression. Story or just booking in general, right? Just bad booking for the Wyatts. And now you just added Alexa into the mix for no reason. They don't even know how to book Nikki Cross. They already have a female. Nikki Cross is doing nothing. Let's add somebody else. Now, many of you guys have said, well, what if you have Nikki and Alexa going for tag titles, BC? Is it going to be booked correctly? What has been booked correctly in the tag team division so far? Nothing. The Naomi, Bianca, Jade storyline, thankfully, gave us something to talk about. You take that away, it's been weird, man. Alba and Isla won the titles just because they were in Scotland. Alba and Isla aren't even with the company anymore. Or Isla isn't. Alba is now in the Secret Service. Is that what they call it? Secret? No, she's with Chelsea Green. But Isla's not even with the company. A few months ago, she was winning the titles because they were in Scotland. That's what I mean. So, no, forgive me not. Sorry not. If I'm not all giddy that Alexa Bliss could join the Wyatts. And maybe Alexa's not too giddy either. Maybe they're butting heads again. Alexa and WWE were kind of butting heads before she came back. This could just be some requested time off, maybe gone under the weather, but no, because if she's pulled from WWE World under the weather and you know that she's not, it's going to be more than a month. That's not a cold, that's not a flu, what you know what I mean? Not only was Alexa not on WWE television this week, she's been pulled from WrestleMania week. That's weird, man. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Again, maybe something came up while we were recording this. You never know. But But going into this recording, I did my due diligence. Nobody knows anything at this point other than Alexa has been being pulled off of everything. So I'll keep you guys updated as I am. We'll stick with the women for a second. This is a female star from the past. Not too far in the past, but former WWE star. And this female, I kind of broke it to you guys, man, that she's coming back to WWE, even when a lot of people were like, oh, no, there's reports saying she might. No, I was telling you she is. Well, now she's saying she already signed. Who we talking about? You can look, but you can't touch. Nikki Bella. On a WWE return, Nikki Bella says, and I quote, I know at some point I will be going back to WWE to do something, right? I don't know exactly when. I don't know the story, but it's going to happen. Isn't that telling you she signed? I don't think there's I don't even think there's I's to be dotted or T's to be crossed. She's telling you it's going to happen. And she was talking with Brie Bella, her sister. And again, listen to this. I know at some point I'm going back to WWE to do something, right? Like that's like a comment, like right, like that much we know, right? And Brie's like, yep. So they already have a deal in place. This isn't, otherwise you can never say something like, you don't know if WWE is bringing you back. You don't know. You can't say that you're coming back for sure. And that's what she's doing. We know that I'm going back to WWE to do something, right? Brie says, yeah. She says, I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly the story, but it's going to happen. I mean, nobody's just saying that if you don't have a contract already signed. And now it's just the same thing that happened to Alexa. Same thing we're hearing with Becky Lynch and so many others. They're just sitting home. They don't know anything because Hunter doesn't know anything because Hunter doesn't know what he's doing. So he has all this talent and he's sitting them at home or he has them showing up and doing stupid shit. Maybe the best thing to do is to sit home because then you won't be booked like a fucking idiot like Austin Theory and so many others. Or Chad Gable putting on a fucking mask and getting chased around by dragons and Mysterios. Anyway, guys. Nikki Bella looks to be already signed, and now it's just a waiting game. Like so many, especially of the females, just waiting at home, waiting for Hunter to give him something. And Hunter's like, I don't even know what to do with him. Trish is under contract, guys, still. He doesn't know what. He's like, oh, we're going to Canada? Bring in Trish for a minute. Then they're out of Canada, and he's like, can you go back? I could just give us a few months. We'll continue to pay you. Lilian Garcia. Sadly, Lilian Garcia left a big, lengthy message saying that she is being removed from, was it Raw? Or, I don't even know who's where anymore. I think it was SmackDown, right? Well, she's being removed in this switch. So then Mike Rome had to come up. Who was the other one? Alicia Taylor. And then there's, or is that it? Alicia Taylor, Mike Rome. I don't know, but they're taking Lilian Garcia off. Now everyone's like, oh, maybe Samantha can come back. Guys, you got to remember, Samantha said she doesn't love this. She doesn't even like it. She does not like announcing. She can't stand it. She couldn't even do it anymore. That's how bad it got. So even if they offered her a load of money and she came back, would you want that? Like, there's no authenticity anymore. I loved Samantha. I mean, she was even better than Lilian in Lilian's heyday, her prime. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's how good Samantha is at announcing. But now just knowing how much she hated it, I can't watch her do that now. There's not going to be any sincerity in it. I'm going to be watching this girl be really good at something that she is currently hating while she's doing it. She's not just going to find a love for it. If Hollywood and the music industry or whatever turns her down or it doesn't go as planned and all of a sudden she comes back and she gives us a nice hoorah speech, right? I just realized while I was away how much I love this and how much no, I'm not buying it. You know you can't stand doing this. You told us that. But now because everything else failed and they offered you a boatload of money, now all of a sudden, coming down the ring, Jey Uso. Yeah. Chelsea Green, right? All the Samanthas, right? And she's got a smile and she's doing all the reactions. And all of a sudden we're supposed to go, oh, Samantha's back and she's loving it now. It's not going to happen, bro. Samantha has already ruined it, unfortunately, for all of us. I wish she didn't. This is one of those times I wish she wasn't honest. Don't tell us how much you hated it because you were so good at it. So Samantha coming back isn't even an option, man, because I can't even look at her the same way. She just cannot stand announcing. I don't want to see her do something she can't stand. So then you're left with, I guess, Mike Rome and Alicia Taylor. Alicia Taylor's not bad. Mike Rome is okay. Nobody's going to be Howard Finkel anymore. But damn, Samantha was... So then all of a sudden they got a Lilian back. I was like, cool, man. Lilian's back. And then all of a sudden Lilian got Das Boot. So I don't understand this shakeup. It's just odd timing. Lilian came back only for a couple of months. Lilian is not as good as she used to be. I'll fully admit that. She doesn't have the voice anymore, sadly. But in only a couple of months you're booting her. You better have a really good plan in place for the replacements. Or is it just Mike Rome? Or is Rome going to NXT? I don't even know, guys. It was weird. But salute to Lilian Garcia. It was good to see her back for her time. She's not leaving WWE in totality, I guess. She's going to do other projects, guys. And once in a while, she's going to do some events, like maybe even Saturday night's main events. So Lilian's not totally leaving the company, but she is no longer doing this. She is being pulled. And then we'll conclude with some NXT talk, guys. I did some notes for you because I was able to catch this show. This is NXT 318. I was pumped for this first matchup. Chelsea Green and Sol Ruca. I just love the concept of this match, Chelsea and Sol. I just think they're so evenly matched. I'm not saying Chelsea as I can speak, more coffee, BC, is as athletic as Sol Ruca, but damn, Chelsea's good. Don't be fooled by all the comedy and what WWE is booking her as. She's good, guys. Not as athletic as Sol, I understand, but I just feel there's an even matchup there. Not just like their height and the look, but evenly matched. I just knew they would put on a good match, and they did. They did in this opening contest. Chelsea Green defeated Sol Ruca via unprettier pinfall. Good match, as I said. I don't like Ruca losing, period. She's so good. Sol Ruca is good. But there's no way Chelsea can lose this match. You guys know that. She didn't. All is right in the world. Sol Ruca, I don't feel lost anything. The match, yes. But I think she gained brownie points in the process. Now, they kept the females rolling. I like this. Stephanie Vaquer is out next. It's a Stephanie promo. But Jordynne Grace interrupts. I call her 80s version of Jordan, right? She had like a neon top and a neon green top and a neon pink skirt. Something like that. Reminded me of like Kelly Kapowski back in the Saved by the Bell days. So she's totally retro 80s out. Jordan gets attacked by Jaida Parker. So you guys know how high I put Jordynne Grace. But I put Jaida Parker even higher. Jada's my girl. I just think she is super beautiful, super talented. She gets this whole wrestling thing. She's a good talker on the mic, trash talker, great heel. She takes out Jordan, gets in the ring, and talks mad trash to Stephanie. Ends up getting herself a matchup for the title next week. Pretty badass. And by the way, Jaida, already super beautiful. She was out there in booty shorts. So, I'm trying to be invested in everything that's going down, but I'm also going, damn, Jada's rocking the booty shorts. Like, that's... But that seriously was the best part. I thought the whole thing was well done. Everybody played their part beautifully, and if you're trying to get to Stephanie and Jaida, I'm definitely okay with how they did it. But the best part of all of that was Jaida rocking the booty short. Let's be honest. There's no getting around that, man. Jaida, damn. Top to bottom, Jaida is just, yeah, she's that girl. That was great. Now, the women stole the show. That whole first half an hour, maybe a little bit plus, that was the best part, man. And then it kind of just fell apart. The dudes are just not clicking right now. The creative for them, what they have out there. For instance, Inamura and Briggs defeated a Hank and a Tank via pinfall. Okay. You could say it's a good match. All right. Shawn Spears and the Culling then defeat the Family. Okay, the best part of that was little, what do they call it? Little Rizzo I love that her little, the graspiness in her Italian voice. In the way she talks to Tony D in their segment. That girl, man. I love seeing her on screen. In the ring as well, but big fan of her. Other than that, all right, just another match to have a match. Jacy Jayne would then defeat Carmen Petrovic via pinfall. This was nowhere near the heights of like Chelsea and Sol Ruca's match, but this was big for Jacy because I've been saying for weeks, Jacy's done, right? I think the whole Fatal Influence, Jacy Jayne especially, that they've been booked so badly, I don't know if they can dig themselves out of the hole that Shawn Michaels had put them in, but this is a start. Jacy Jayne on a one-on-one singles W. Is there any care into it from the majority of the fans? Of course not. But it's a start to go, hey, maybe she'll start to get momentum going forward, right? You have to start somewhere. So this was, even though as little as this is, it's really big if you're Jacy Jayne, and even in a broader spectrum, big for Fatal Influence. Ricky Saints then had his debut match in World Wrestling Entertainment, more specifically NXT. He defeated Ridge Holland. Ricky Saints. And then you went to the main event. This was just stupid. Trick Williams defeated Eddie Thorpe via referee stoppage in an NXT Underground main event. Post-match, Williams calls Oba Femi to the ring. Oba obliges. The lights go out, and it's Retribution Negative 2.0. But then all of a sudden, shit gets stupid. The whole locker room, it seems, or everybody that was around for Underground, they get in the ring. Javon Evans is there as well, I believe. And everybody just starts brawling. And it got weird. And when it was all said and done, everybody got knocked out simultaneously. And Trick Williams and Javon Evans, I believe. I think Evans may have taken out Oba. And it was just Williams and Evans. And Evans... It's just a stare down while the Retribution Negative 2.0 is like staring at them in the crowd. And all these people are like knocked out. And they're just staring at each other. And Vic Joseph ends the show going, "Now does Javon Evans have your attention?" And I'm like, no, not at all. Like, this was so bad. You would have thought that Hunter Hearst Helmsley came up with that finish. And maybe he did. Maybe Shawn Michaels had to go to the bathroom. Hunter's like, "I got this, Shawn. Hold my coffee, somebody." Because this was that bad, man. I'll tell you this, straight up. Hot take, I don't even care. This whole Retribution Negative 2.0 group, this is so stupid and it is so bad that it's surpassing Retribution levels of badness, of awfulness. This could be even worse than Retribution if they keep this bullshit up. It's so bad. And all of a sudden, Evans is Superman. I mean, he's taking everybody out. Trick Williams is not it, by the way. I thought he was. There was a time there where I was like, whoa, it's not Mello who's the superstar. It's Trick Williams. Maybe it's bad booking. Maybe Williams is exhausted. I don't know. But Trick Williams he has fallen off. We got to get Trick Williams great again, right? Make Trick great again. But I don't know. This whole last segment, and I don't know if it's just BC, but this whole Eddie Thorpe thing is not. Eddie Thorpe does nothing for BC. If he does you, cool. Maybe I'm in the minority for that. That's cool. But Eddie Thorpe, I'm just done with that. With all of the talent we have in the pro wrestling world, Eddie Thorpe getting these main events, Eddie Thorpe in last night's main event, I'm not seeing it. And maybe that added into why this main event was just so weird and so bad. And the finish of this show was just Monday Night Raw-esque. That's what I got for you guys, man. That's amped up for 3/19/25. And we were amped up. One of my backlights went out. I apologize for that, but I just didn't want to do another edit. So it's what it is, guys. Hopefully, yeah, man, 2 of them may have went out. I can't say. It is what it is. This is getting out to you guys late. Until next time, there will be that next time. I'll watch some AEW, and I will absolutely give you my AEW Dynamite thoughts sometime within the next 24 hours. I think they're doing Mox and Edge, right, Cope? I think we're doing Mox and Cope tonight, possibly. I don't know. We'll have that and many other stories, man. Until next time, there will be that next time. 44 Dive. That's a wrap. BC in the unit saying check you. Salut!